see you guys rolling on. Everybody here with us live on Zoom. Welcome. Thank you guys for being on time. And like I said, in the meantime, in between time, we're going to get started here in about 4 more minutes. I'm going to ask you guys to please make sure you got good signal, good Wi-Fi. We don't want you guys to miss any of the great pertinent information that Will and Tim are going to be sharing with us on this Monday night, guys. So I'm super excited. Can't wait to get started. We'll see you guys in just a couple of more minutes. All right, family. The time is now 8:02. 8:02. We got a little bit less than 2 minutes to get started with our Monday Money Making Motivational Mindset Zoom, guys. A little bit less than 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. We're here live on Facebook. We're live here on Zoom, guys. We're going to get started here in a little bit less than 2 more minutes. Countdown, less than 1 minute. 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Mindset Zoom. We do this each and every single Monday night at 8 o'clock. I want to thank you guys for being on time. Thank you guys for your patience. I'm super excited to get this call, this Zoom started, guys. Super excited. Hope everybody had a great Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend, and I hope everybody is going to have a great happy holidays and a great Christmas. It's a great week, guys. I know it's a little different from other years. A lot of us are going to have to, spend time away from our families and be with our families virtually. But guys, we made it almost at the end of the year. I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. But for those of you that are new and those of you that have been rocking with us before, I want to welcome you guys to our, like I said, our Monday Money Making Motivational Mindset Zoom. Will and Tim, they started REI Wholesalers Are Us almost 6 years ago. And their intention and their goal was to pretty much combine their intelligence, their experience, 25 plus years combined worth of experience with the community. And since then, they helped a lot of people like myself get into this business full time and break away from the rat race. So, and of course, they helped a lot of sellers and a lot of buyers. They helped sellers get away from their problem situation. They helped a lot of buyers get really great discounted deals. But I could go on and on about these brothers here, how much they've blessed the Atlanta community, how much they blessed my life and thousands of other lives. But without further ado, Will Galloway and Tim Harvey, you brothers on the line, the stage is yours.
Hey, Delano, how's it going? Can you hear us?
Hey, Tim, I can see and hear you perfectly fine.
All right, guys. Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas. Thank you for introducing us, Delano. Welcome, guys, to REI Wholesalers R Us, Money Making Motivational Mindset Monday Zoom, guys. We are so excited. This is the Christmas edition. Delano, before you get to that game, man, I need you for a few minutes. But this is the Money Making Motivational Mindset Monday Christmas edition, guys. I am Tim Harvey, and my partner's name is Will Galloway, guys. And we are super excited to have you here tonight, guys. Like we said, this is a special Christmas edition for Money Making Motivational Mindset Monday, of which we do every single Monday, Monday in, Monday out, guys. We have been doing it since 2014. We Wholesalers R Us started back in 2015, guys, and we are rocking and rolling almost 6 years later, guys. And we are so grateful to our God for giving us this opportunity, for giving us this platform to be able to do this every single Monday, guys. We're grateful to you guys for jumping on with us every single Monday. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the Facebook fam. Thank you for the Zoom fam. Thank you for the YouTube fam. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Money Making Motivational Mindset Monday. Like I say, guys, we are super excited for what's going to happen tonight, guys. Listen, Money Making Motivational Mindset Monday has been put in place to inspire and motivate you for the rest of your week. So Monday should be the most impactful day of the week. Monday should be the day that creates the momentum for the rest of the week, guys. And we are so excited because this is the Monday is going to move things forward for your week, guys. And like I said, guys, we're super excited. I mean, this is, Christmas week. Christmas is coming up this Friday. And guys, I mean, we'd be remiss to say if we don't recognize the true reason for this season, guys. And we are so grateful, to the reason, we're grateful to the reason for this season, guys. And, what a year it has been. 2020 has been quite a year. We'd be remiss to say if this wasn't one of the most impactful years of all time. And, listen, I just got to say this, guys. I am grateful to be alive. I am grateful to be around. I'm grateful to be able to do, what I've been blessed to do, what I've been graced to do. And, it's been quite a year. I hate, for what has happened this year for a lot of people, there's just been a lot of change this year. But how many of you guys know that with change, and when bad things happen, then that's when success is on the horizon, guys. So just understand this, guys. So success is right on the horizon for you, and we're just grateful. So partner, how you doing? It's been quite a Monday already. We always, work it down to the fourth, it's the fourth quarter. We always work it all the way down to the wire. And, it's been quite impactful. So how you doing tonight, man?
Oh, man, I'm blessed, man. Thanks for asking. Just grateful to be here. Definitely wanted to give my Lord Savior Jesus Christ all the glory just for allowing us this platform just to be heard, for everybody who faithfully come online with us every Monday. I'm grateful for you guys just continuously supporting us and supporting our movement. Definitely, this call really wouldn't be nothing without you guys. So I appreciate you guys for just consistently just, committing yourself to just jump on the line with us for about an hour. just allowing us to be able to pour into you guys. And like Delano said, just, sharing our information that we've learned over the years, giving you guys feedback, giving you guys just the resources and tools that you need to succeed, not only in real estate, but just in life in general, because again, we established this call to let you guys know that, of course, life and whatever it is you're doing is 90 to 99% mindset. That's our goal. That's our priority, is to mindset our ways out of everything, and we created this call. I mean, we've been, of course, doing the meetup. We've been doing the meetup for the past, since 2015. And we've been doing this call for the past 3 years, and just never knew that this call would end up being something that end up being a blessing to others, not only us, but to others. Right. We never, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything that we've been going through, specifically with the pandemic, you have to have the proper mindset to be able to get through a pandemic.
Yes.
You have to have the proper mindset to know how to shift and how to, adjust. A lot of people got blessed during this pandemic, and a lot of people, hit rock bottom, and you have to, have the right type of mindset to know how to adjust, to know what's the next move, to know how to listen for God to tell you what's next, because a lot of us had to listen to God during this time. A lot of us had to get guidance because this was new to everybody. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know, if real estate was even going to thrive, during this time. I mean, we all at one point had doubt. We had doubt, and we didn't know, how the year was going to end. And, to know that, hey, man, we're, less than 2 weeks out from 2020 being a whole year of just a blur, just a year of like, so much uncertainty, so much that happened. But again, I'm just grateful that we're still here, man. I'm grateful that, we stayed strong. We stayed mentally strong. I feel like we got through the hard part. And I think that everything is just going to start coming together, especially in 2021.
Yeah.
And this is the time now, just to start really, really, really focusing on finishing strong. This is the time where you have to, grind it out and, focus on just being the best version of yourself, doing a little bit. I mean, we're forced to have to do a little bit more than normal. We're forced to have to work a little bit harder than normal, but that's okay. That's okay, because that's what we're built for. And that's life, that's life. Everything is not going to come easy. Everything is to where, there's not going to be some trials and tribulations. There's not going to be some bumps in the road. But again, that's why the proper mindset is so important. It's so essential, to be able to survive, right. Because people, there's people, we always talk about it all the time, man. There's people around us that's dependent on how we respond.
Right.
So we have to be mindful of that it's not just about us. I mean, we got a family, we got families that's dependent on us. We got partners that's dependent on us, and I think that, God is going to continuously give us the right resources to win. And we just got to hone in on what that is, and work with patience, consistency, focus, and most importantly, be a part of a winning team. Right. This is the time where you have to, get close to your team. This is not the time to try to take this battle by yourself.
No, it's not.
When you in the battle, when you at war, and I hate to call it that, but when you in a battle and when you at war, I don't know nobody who go to war by themselves. I don't know nobody who fight a battle by themselves. You know what I'm saying? So this is the time where you need your spiritual partners. You need your business partners, in order to, to get through what we're going through right now, because this is something that we're all not used to. But again,
Right.
I've been able to get through it, you know, with having Tim, you know, having Delano, my team, you know, in my internal company. And, you know, if it wasn't for you guys, and of course God, for the sake of listening, guys, and you guys first and foremost. But you need to be partnering with the right people. You need to be surrounding yourself with the right people. You need to be putting the right systems in place, the right team in place, so you can, you know, so you'll be able to get through, you know, everything that we're going through, you know, and you know, that's one of the words of advice that I can give everybody is, you know, it's not going to be easy, of course, but that's what we're here for. You know, that's what we opened up this community for. That's why we opened up these Monday calls for, is because we don't want you guys to feel like you're in this alone. You know, we got your backs, and whatever we can do to assist you, we're definitely here. And, you know, we want to continuously just be a vessel to you guys. So again, I'm grateful for this call, man. I mean, this call not only impacts you guys, but it impacts me as well. So I'm grateful just to be on this call.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny that you said that, man. That was actually what I was thinking about tonight. Was you know, and we didn't even rehearse this at all. But that's actually what I was thinking about tonight. Was what about, you know, don't go into something like this, you know, alone. You know, don't go into battle alone. You know, the thing about it is, you know, whenever you have, you know, unrest, you know, unsettling, and, you know, we'll call this year, you know, for what it is. You know, this year is a year of unrest. This year is a year of unsettling. This year is a year of, you know, uncertainty, you know, for many people. But, you know, when you have, you know, the abundance of partners, when you have the abundance of friends, when you have the abundance of just, you know, people around you, when you have the abundance of that surround you, then you can go into this thing with a certain certainty. Of course, a lot of us, you know, never, you know, of course, a lot of, you know, I think none of us quite knew, you know, what was going to happen, but we did have a certain certainty because we had a community. You know, first of all, we had Christ, you know, Christ number one. And secondly, you know, we had a certain, you know, we had a confidence in what it is that we do. And with that confidence in what it is that we do, you know, we had our community. You know, we had our community of friends, you know, we had our community of partners, you know, and you've got to go into something like this, you know, with a team. I just see the question on Facebook, you know, how do you get started? What's the first step to get started in wholesaling? And thank you for that question, Michael. But the first step to get started in wholesaling is to get your mind right. Or the first step to get started in real estate, period, any business, is to make sure that you get your mind right. How do you get your mind right? Well, you know, the one thing I see is you've got to be surrounded by the right people. You've got to be surrounded by the right people. You've got to have the right team, you know, the team of experts. You've got to have, you know, people with the right temperament that know, you know, exactly what you're going through, that know exactly what's going to happen. And when you have that, that's the first thing that you have to have, you know, to get started in wholesaling. And then once you have that team, you know, once you put people, you know, once you have a team put together of people that are like-minded, you know, people that can encourage you, people that can encourage your mindset as you learn, then that's the first thing that you do as a recipe for success. And everything else just kind of falls into place. I mean, just as an example, I mean, we've got our Dialing for Dollars program. And, I'm just excited because with this Dialing for Dollars program, of which God ordained, because, we didn't just quickly jump into it. Years ago when we could have started the program, there was something, a piece on us was not there to start the program. But this year, God put that piece on us to start start this Dialing for Dollars program. And with that has come success. And we're just grateful for it because the timing was right. The timing was right for our community to come together. Who knew that a lot of people were going to be at home, and, people who knew that, that people were going to have to rely on just being at home and making telephone calls. And that's what made it right. So the timing was right. And that's why when it comes to getting into a business, you've got to be around people that know. We didn't quite know everything that was going to happen, but with the abundance of information that was in our community, we were able to kind of wade our way through this year. And that's just how it is. So this is the first thing that you guys have to do. When you're considering a business like this, okay, you've got to look at the experts, look at who's an expert and partner up with the right people, consider the right people, and it'll make your way prosperous. So, I wanted to know, is Delano, are you still on, bro? I didn't know. I know his, okay.
Hey, I'm still here.
Hey, what's going on, man? Listen, before we bring our guest on, man, and we got a special guest tonight, but I know we've got a lot of people that, a lot of newbies, are on this Zoom tonight, and just kind of share with people, what your day consists of, how you start your day, and then of course what it consists of. I mean, me, you, Will, Lachette, I mean, we talk for about an hour today, and we typically kind of go over stuff, but just kind of share with people how things, people were asking, what does Delano do? What does he do? What does he do? So just kind of briefly share, what your day consists of. Thank you. You frozen? You frozen? Okay. I think he's there, but I think he's frozen. But what we wanted to do before we brought our guest on was to just kind of share with you guys, what his day kind of consists of, what he does. I mean, Delano, of course, is the flagship of our Dialing for Dollars program, soon to be Driving for Dollar program as well. But we wanted to be able to share what happened. There he is. Okay. Yeah, and we want. Did you hear what the question was?
Hey, I'm back now. I'm sorry about that. My phone froze. I'm not sure what was going on.
No problem.
But you're saying pretty much explain how I pretty much start my day and what my day consists of.
Yeah, what's a typical day for you, man? When it comes to this business, I mean, you share that with us.
Okay. Nowadays, what I do, of course, I start my day with being grateful. I find at least 5 things to be thankful for.
Okay.
And then I pray. I like to meditate. It's not really a given time, but I like to pray. Then I do my affirmations, and of course I eat breakfast. And you got to start your day off with a healthy breakfast.
Right.
I think that's important. And drink at least a bottle of water. And that's how I start my day. I pray. And like I said, go over my affirmations, and I remind myself why I do the work that I do. I look over at my wife, look over at my son in his bassinet, and I just remind myself that I would love to, and I've been blessed to be put in this position to work with great brothers like y'all, so that I can provide the life that I know my family deserves. So that's what I put in my mind, and I replay it each and every morning. And after I'll go over my mindset, go over positive affirmations, and I pray. Like I said, I eat breakfast, and then I do my follow-ups. I open up Mojo.
Okay.
And I immediately, around 9 o'clock in the morning, between the hours of 9 to 10, I do my follow-up calls. And Monday mornings, of course, we talk about all of our leads. Mm-hmm. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, we talk about all of our leads. But just typically, I do my follow-ups after that. I do my cold calling.
Okay.
Pretty much for the rest of the day.
Wow. So about how many calls you think you make in a day?
I push to get at least 100 calls in. I mean, it's not the same every day, but I like to call as many people as I can call, and that includes follow-ups.
Okay, and that includes your follow-ups?
Yeah.
So would you say, like, what do you would you say follow-ups are key? Follow-ups are very important. How does that rank?
I think follow-ups are more important than actually like just. I mean, I don't know what everybody else does, but you gotta tackle the same list over and over again until somebody answers the phone.
Okay.
That's how I look at it, and that's how y'all taught me. And dial their number, call them as many times as you need to, as you got to until they answer the phone. And when they do answer the phone, you can they either tell you no, which is going to be most people, they're not interested, or you grab their information if they are interested in selling and get as much detail as possible. Most importantly, why they're selling, when they want to sell, and the condition of the property. And once I get that information from them, I put it in Mojo, and we have what you call a template that we use. I put all that information on there as far as the address, the condition of the property, what they may owe, and I send it to the team. And of course, with Lachette, yourself and Will, we evaluate it, and you guys let me know if it's a deal or not.
Okay.
I may think it's a deal, but of course, I just depend on and rely on y'all expertise to let me know if it's yay or nay.
Okay. Well, that's good stuff, man. So I guess from a standpoint of like the thing is, you just want to make sure you make as many calls as possible. And Anissa right here, I mean, she's one of our newest, one of our newest partners. She says that's what I wanted to know. So do you go through your list in the start and from where you left off? I think that's what she's asking you.
Yes, I pretty much start my follow-ups from where I left off. So just say just for this purpose, just easy example. If I got 100 leads, 100 people I got to follow up with that day, mm-hmm. I make it to 50. I start off with 51 the next morning at 9:00. And as y'all guys, start to make your calls and do your marketing, your following up is one of the most important things that you're going to do, because that is rare for you to talk to somebody that first time and they're ready to make business happen that day.
That's what's
you're going to have to follow up.
I think that's important what you just said. I want people to understand that. And it's funny you said that. I was listening to a podcast earlier, uh-huh. and like you just said, it was a guy. He's a sales negotiator, but he was breaking down the percentages and stuff like that, and he was just talking about the percentages of deals that you're gonna get on the first call compared to like the 8th call or something like that on the same lead, and the more the calls, the higher the percentage went up. Right. Like the first call was like so low. It was almost like 15, 20%, 10% probably. It was super low. Like I'm talking about like first contact and you're going to get the deal. You know what I'm saying? But most of you guys think that when you make that first call, that if you didn't get the deal or y'all didn't come to an agreement, that was a failed call.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the truth, because you have to nurture that call. You have to nurture that seller. The more and more a person hear you and the more and more a person talk to you, guess what, guys? You're getting them comfortable. You're getting them familiar with who you are. So after the 6th, 7th, 8th call, shoot, they're almost down. They're going to know your name, you know what I'm saying? And know, just as much about you that you know about them, because guess what? They're going to get used to talking to you. And the more they get used to talking to you, the more comfortable they're going to be. So sometimes there are going to be times where, you have to follow up that many times. I was listening to that same guy on the podcast, and he was talking about how he closed an $80,000 deal from communicating with a seller for 2 years.
Right.
You know, and he was like, man, like, you know, and he broke it down. He was like, man, I end up making $40,000 a year just waiting for those 2 years for that deal to close. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it, and that just comes from, you know, a person not being ready, a person, you know, and even with those people, I'm guilty of it, I got to get in there.
Will, when you say that again, you said he ended up doing what? Waiting on those 2 calls?
I'm saying he ended up averaging to making $40,000 a year because it took him 2 years to close an $80,000 deal.
Wow.
You know? So, you know, he was just like, man, you know, like, I guess the guy just never was ready, but he gave him the okay to keep calling him and keep following up. And he had the mindset to know that, hey, you know, as long as this guy, you know, don't cuss me out every time I call him or tell me the property sold, he's going to forever just stay on the follow-up, you know, and he's going to forever, I'm just going to forever just keep, you know, reminding him that I'm still here. I'm still buying houses. You know, I'm still interested in the property. And I'm sure within 2 years, the numbers probably change. You know, the value probably changed in 2 years. You know, I mean, value changes every month, you know, in these properties. So 2 years, I mean, who's to say what that property is worth? I mean, you know, we're working on a deal now where, damn, we couldn't even sell the property a couple of months ago. And as soon as we got the seller back, you know, wanted to do business with us, 3-4 months later, and now all of a sudden everybody wants the property, you know, so things change. Yeah, things changed in time. So, so just if you got a list,
that one next week.
Yeah, if you got a list, you know, and that's another thing. If you got a list, just know that the best list is the list that you already got, because there's gold in that list. You know, there's gold. You know, you might be like, man, I need a new list. But man, you got gold in the list you got. You know what I'm saying? And you have to ask yourself, everybody on this list that I've talked to, have I at least talked to them 5 or more times? You know, if you haven't, then you still need to go through that list. You know, so they were just talking about how important follow-up is, and just how most sales happen, you know, when you start getting that 6th, 7th, 8th, almost 9th, 10th call. That's when you start bringing the deals together. And I'm not saying you're not going to get a deal on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd call. I'm not saying, because we do it all the time. But if you look at majority of the deals that you close, you're probably going to have, you know, at least 5 or more conversations, between 5 and 10 conversations with that person before you put a deal together.
Well, Will, I just want to say this, and you're absolutely correct. That's the difference between an amateur and a professional. You know, a true professional knows that, you know, and if he's in it for the long haul, he or she is in it for the long haul, they know that, you know, they're going to need to build a relationship with somebody. They're not in a hurry to get one deal done with any one person. You know, they know that if they just keep on pecking at it, they're going to eventually get to that person that doesn't say no. And that's the difference between, you know, like a professional is a person that's standing by and waiting, and they understand that the timing, you know, when the timing is right, the timing is just right. So yeah, you're absolutely correct. You know, just the follow-up is so key. And this is for everybody that's on this call tonight. You know, we're not just talking about, you know, newbies, we're talking about veterans too. You know, the follow-up is the most important part of this business. No lead is a bad lead until they say no. You know, because a person is actually going to be, you're either going to catch a person in their change window or not. If you don't catch that person in their change window, then somebody else is going to do it, and somebody else is going to make that. He said $40,000 a year. Somebody else is going to make that money, and you're just going to be sitting there, trying to chase somebody else instead of getting the lead of the person that you got to know. And, you know, they know you now, you know, so, you know, and it just kind of reminds me of that deal, D, and we're going to let you roll, because we know you want to get to the game, but it just reminds me of the guy today that actually signed that agreement today. Didn't have the best of demeanors with us at all. But he needed to be communicated with in a different way. And as long as he was communicating, and this is the funny thing is, Delano, when you talked to him, he was very, very rude. And then finally, when you got us, you know, your senior business partners, that's how you addressed us. So, you know, I'm going to let my senior business partners talk to you, and they're going to give you a call. and they're going to follow up with you. The funny thing about it was when we talked to him, we couldn't even talk to him, in the way that he wanted to be communicated with. And thankfully, as a team, we did understand that he needed to be communicated with in a different manner. And when we found that he needed to be communicated with in a different manner, that made all the difference in us getting the deal, of which he signed the agreement today. That made all the difference. And that's what having a team is all about. That's what having partners is all about, because a partner will figure it out. While you're sitting here, you may be thinking this ain't going to happen, this ain't going to work. It's a natural thing. You got another partner that's coming around and working to figure it out. How can we get to this person? What is it that we can do? So, bringing a fresh wind, to the situation. So yeah, I mean, it's just so important just to understand that, the way to this business is follow up, figure it out, bring the friendship. When we go to that closing, he's going to be Delano's best friend when we go to that closing. When we go to the closing. So yeah, that's
one thing. I know we got to get our guests on real quick.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I did learn from that situation with that deal you're just talking about is you really have to. I mean, this business is it's like playing chess. It's strategy. And even with that guy, like I was just really finna throw in the towel, say you guys can deal with that one. I'm just the type of person that I like doing deals where I feel good. Everybody's in agreement. There's no pressure. There's no pushback. Everything is just flowing. And if it's not that, then I'm feeling like it's not for me. And I don't want nothing where the energy is not there. But I have to also understand, you can't put the personal in it. You just have to adjust. And like you just said earlier, everybody communicates differently. You have to learn, how to communicate with the person and be okay with that. I might have wanted to have a conversation with him, but he's the type of person where he don't want to have a conversation with nobody. And if you have a conversation with him, if you're not saying what he want to hear, then he's going to shut you down. Right. So me as a man, if somebody's trying to shut me down, I'm looking at that like that's disrespect. So I'm looking at, I don't want to do business with this person. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it had nothing to do with that. You have to learn how to communicate with a person how they're comfortable with. It has nothing to do with you being comfortable with how to communicate with that person. You have to learn that individual and know that you have to communicate with them on their terms so they feel good about the deal. So now that he feels good about the deal, now everybody feels good about the deal.
Right.
Because that's the whole goal is get to a place where the energy is good and everybody feels good about the deal. Everybody feels like it's a win-win. And it's there now, but it wasn't there in the beginning because we had to figure out how do we communicate with him? And
the funny thing about it is when I talked to him tonight, he was very respectful tonight.
Right.
Like it was like a 360 tonight. He was very respectful.
But that's because you figured out how to communicate with him. You said, okay, well, he keeps shutting us down. He don't want to talk to us. He's being disrespectful over the phone. He keeps telling us, only way I want to communicate with y'all is by email. That's the only way I want to communicate with y'all. Yeah. So we just said, you know what? Well, let's just do it that way. Let's just communicate. And it happens all the time. Some people, you got to communicate with them only by text. They don't want to talk to you on the phone. They want to get closed by text, texting back and forth. I'm not that type of person. I don't like doing business by email and text. I like talking to people. But I have to learn that some people communicate differently, and you have to respect that. So it just, again, like we said earlier, it's about adjusting, learning people, and adjusting to their ways. It's not always about your ways. You have to adjust to their ways because, again, you're trying to gain their business. Right. So if you're trying to gain somebody's business, you have to learn that person. And that's what happened with this guy. So hopefully, we're able to get this deal done, and then we're able to have a great testimony. But yeah, I mean, man, that guy, that's a whole nother story.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is like that's just that. Honestly, I mean, that's just how things sometimes are, and that's why it's important to have a team. Listen, I'm an advocate of that because I really understand that one person can be looking at it one way, and then if you've got 2 or 3 heads thinking about it the same way, in a different way, then you're going to have some success. And family, understand that there are different personality types. You've got different people, that react differently, that think differently. This COVID thing, this whole COVID thing. Listen, people are afraid in their mindsets. Let's just face it. People are nervous. People are angry. People are scared. And, all these things are bad, but we have to understand, guys, that this is how we're going, if this is how we're going to make our living, that if this is how we're going to, get to, to get to our sellers so that we can, make livings for our families, we've got to understand how to adjust. We've got to adjust. And that's why it's so important to have a team. It's important to have a team of people that's there with you, through every step of the way, that's going to help you figure out, how to get to that next step. And getting to that next step, of course, is going to get you to the dollar, which is key, which is going to allow you to provide for your families and be able to move you forward into your purpose. So that's, that's all we want to say. D, man, we certainly appreciate you, man. We're going to be rooting along with you tonight for the Steeler Nation. So, thank you, man. Thank you, man, for joining us, man. And I just believe that, early next year, we're going to have a specific testimony about this deal. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm excited and I'm grateful. Just like you said, without a team, I don't know how pretty much any of the deals that we done closed together would have happened. But I'm still here. I'm just gonna have the game on mute. So I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, man, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you profusely. So listen, guys, prayerfully, I mean, you got some insight. And Anissa said, I'm excited. I'm still learning. I mean, we don't always just talk about deals or, all that stuff on Money Making Motivational Mindset Monday. But we did feel like this would kind of help motivate you and kind of help get your mindset moving in the right direction. So tonight, we just want to kind of, yeah, that's right. Ricardo says big wins in 2021. That's real stuff, bro. 2020, listen, 2020 was one of those years where, you were warring and you were fighting and all that stuff. But 2021 is going to be your winning year. 2021, listen, guys, without peace comes war. You understand what I'm saying? So, you've got to go through something to get to something. And that's what 2020 was. 2020 was the year that you had to go through to get to your 2021. And 2021 is going to be, your victory year. They're going to be big wins for you in 2021 because you got through 2020 all in one piece. And just be thankful to God that you got through 2020 in one piece. So listen, guys, tonight we talked about friendship tonight. And we talked about who are you surrounding yourself with, when it comes to, your business, your personal, what have you. Who are you surrounding yourself with in order to have success? Okay. Because who you surround yourself with in critical times like now is supremely important. And we just thought it would be, remiss on us, to bring, one of our good friends, one of my best friends in the world. And we just thought we, just bring him on tonight, to kind of share his insights and wisdom. He's the OG, his name is OT. And bro, listen, thank you for joining us tonight, man. I just wanted to kind of start off, man, to say, to kind of hear from you. And I think, just about everybody on this call knows who you are, but I just want to hear from you. Like, what was your first deal like? What was your first deal like? I don't think I've ever asked you that question. What was your first deal like?
Hey, well, first of all, can everybody hear me good and see me okay right now?
Yeah, we can hear and see you.
Praise God, man. I do apologize, and I want to get to your question. I was telling you earlier what I kind of had going on. They running late, so I may not be on, but just for a little while because they're on the way here now. Shoot to the airport. But yeah, man. Hey, man. First of all, hey, man. Grateful, thankful. Hey, my me bros, those Will and Tim, Delano, Lachette, you know, everybody out in Wholesalers Are Us world. Happy holidays to you. Thank God we are here, safe, secure. You know, thankful that God allowed us to see another day and another day that we'll never see again, and looking forward to greater things tomorrow. Yeah. Yes, sir. My first deal, wow, my first deal was a total bumble butt. You know what I mean? My very first deal, I believe. I wind up getting a contract on a property, not knowing what I was doing. And what happened was, looks like that's them coming down the hill now. But what wind up happening is I got a deal, put it under contract, didn't know at the time. I went and had the property appraised, spent $575 because I didn't know how to determine the value.
Right.
And wind up getting the contract, holding on to it. This was when you had to advertise in the AJC. Did all of that. Got a buyer and lost his phone number.
Hey, OT, so for those of us that don't know, the AJC is a newspaper.
Yes, sir. Hey, Tim, give me 1 second. Let me help them get their luggage right quick.
Okay.
I apologize, people. I just need to grab their luggage, throw it in the car right quick. Hold on 1 second.
All good. It's all good. Listen, guys, while he's doing that, guys, I mean, that's what being a friend is. You know, being a friend, you know, and honestly, you know, that's what, you know, the business has allowed for him to do. You know, that's what, you know, entrepreneurship is allowed for him to do. It's allowed for him to do things that, you know, normally you wouldn't be able to do. You know, just to be able to do it, you know, be able to help everybody out. And that's what his business is allowed for him to do. So, and it allows you to help, you know. So the guys,
all right, brother, I'm back.
Yeah, I was just telling the people that that's what, you know, that's what you being in business and all that stuff allows for you to do, is just be able to be free and do some of the things that you want to do, like help everybody out, and you always do that. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Brother Tim, I'm going to turn my light out. I'll still be able to hear you.
Okay.
And answer any questions or talk however way you want me to do it.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Y'all going to Delta, right? Delta. Okay. Go ahead, Tim.
Finish that story that you talking. Can you hear us?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit choppy.
Okay.
So you wanted me to finish that story?
Yeah, finish that story.
Okay, yeah. So what happened is that you know, so I wind up really almost giving up on that deal, because I was a little bit discouraged because I didn't know what I was doing, and I met.
Hold on, you almost gave up on the deal because you were discouraged and you didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah, I had to spend that money on that appraisal. My family and I were getting ready to go to Disneyland. I knew I wanted to have that money that I had just spent.
Right.
And out of the blue, this one old gentleman called me and he asked me, did I still have that deal? And I said, yes. And so this particular guy here, he said, well, can he see it? Can he meet me at the property? And I told him, yes. We got there to the property. I can tell from the look on his face that he was a little excited over it. And he says, how much do you want for it? And I didn't know what to say, so I just say, you know what, man, I'm getting ready to go to Disneyland. And tell me, you can relate to this, because back in our day, you know, we used to get the earnest money in our hand.
Yeah.
But now everybody wants to give it to the attorney.
Right.
So the bottom line is that another thing that sometimes we used to do, and this is before I knew what we did, you know, but this particular guy, I just told him like this. I said, hey, man, if you just give me $2,500, man, you can have this contract. He said, follow me to the bank. That guy gave me cash money, 25. He went in the bank, came back out with an envelope and threw it in my lap. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
He threw it in my lap and told me to open it and count it. And I opened it up, and there was 25 $100 bills in that envelope.
Wow.
And I gave him my contract. So that was my first
So
experience.
you have to assign? I mean, what? How did that work? I mean, you just gave him the contract? How did that?
I gave him the contract. I called the seller and told him he was my partner. And because he was a cash buyer, he was able to go ahead on and secure and close that deal.
So that was the beginning of your wholesaling career right there.
That was the very first beginning.
So from that, did you the way that you knew to do that? I mean, did you get some education, some training, or I mean, what was it? Because I heard you say you were going to be a truck driver at one time.
Well, yeah, this came. You crazy. The training came from a well-known guru out there. I'm a reserve his name for the purposes of, unless you want me to reveal it.
Say his name.
But,
it's fine. It's fine. You can say his name.
Okay, well, I talk a lot about back in our day. Yeah. And I got you beat by a few extra days, so I'm gonna talk about back in my day.
Yeah,
you may or may not be familiar with a guy by the name of Carlton Sheets. Who used to have a course for $150 that you could make, I think 3 or 4 payments or 4 or 5 payments of $29 a month. Well, his course was so melatonin that you couldn't really keep up with it because he talked very slow and he didn't explain stuff in a way to whereby you could just see it. It was a lot of paperwork or strategy wise and stuff like that, but nothing really that gave you that So I got my education from a guy that when I heard his video, his CDs, it was CDs and cassette tapes at that time. Actually, it was cassette tapes at that time. And I actually was just up about 4 or 5 in the morning one time, and I was watching a commercial, an infomercial, and I saw these 2 midgets on TV that actually were dressed up like bumblebees because they were in the pest control business. And so what happened was they were talking about how they had gotten out of the pest control business and into the real estate business and how they were making tons of money flipping houses with no money, really. And so at that time, they had a 800 number to call, and one of the tapes that they sent me 2 free tapes, and one of the tapes was called How to Make $5,000 in the Next 30 Days with No Money.
Wow.
And the other one was called How to Make $100,000 in a Year with No Money. And so those 2 tapes, I thought it was the midgets at first, but it wasn't. The author of those tapes, his name is Ron LeGrand.
Yeah.
Who also is, in my opinion, considered the granddaddy of wholesaling, the godfather, and he had a educational course that was so easy to explain that a baby could do it, and a light bulb just clicked on. So as far as the signing goes, when I met my first buyer, which I still remember his name was Jack Duncan. It was an older Caucasian gentleman, and this man, he probably was around 70-something years old, still buying houses. And so I assigned my contract to Jack.
So that's who you assigned your contract to?
That's who I signed my very first contract to.
For $2,500 to go to Disney World.
But you know what? So let me tell you what was so ironic about it. I had given up, and I'm gonna tell you why I had given up. The first gentleman that called me, whose number I lost, that would have been a $10,000 payday. but I let that deal ride for the 2,500 because I was just frustrated. My contract was running out, and I really didn't know what I was doing at the time.
But you know the funny thing about that is it didn't matter how much money you made on that. And I'm not saying it doesn't matter how much money you make, but it didn't matter how much money you made on that because it was proof of concept. It proved to you that it worked, right?
Oh, most definitely. And I was listening to Will earlier, and saying that how he was about ready to let that deal that you guys are doing right now let it ride, and it reminded me of a deal that I had going down today as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes with these sellers, I've been in situations to whereby sellers sometimes get the Greek glance kick in, and it's unfortunate because I was talking to a gentleman today how a lot of times us as real estate investors, wholesalers, or what have you, the ones that operate ethically are sometimes often viewed as the predators in this business.
Right.
And it's so unfortunate because when a seller comes to you or when they answer your call and you have a good discussion about what it is that they want, because I always begin my conversations with, hey, I want to make this a win-win situation.
Oh, that's so you said it to the sellers when you're talking to them on the phone?
I always tell the sellers, hey, listen, the very first thing I want to do is I want to make it a win-win situation. In fact, I never offer a seller a price. I always let the seller tell me what price they want. And I let them know that it either works or it don't work, and this is why it don't work.
Oh.
And if they have a change of mind about it or something like that, then, I just want to make sure that they're happy. The problem is that you have a lot of people out here that I believe, and this is just my opinion, that are uneducated about values. And so when you have competition of people that are making these phone calls or so, and they're just shooting out numbers, it makes it difficult, even when you have already contracted a deal. I've had sellers try to back out, and that's I'm not an aggressive person, but that makes you get aggressive with people sometimes, and and I hate to get off subject and off topic. I love for you to ask more questions, but I just wanted to get that out.
That was good.
We've had experiences, even today, whereby people want to back out of the deal, and you're oftentimes looked at as the predator when you are the one who are trying to give them everything they want. I try to give them everything they want and some more a lot of times. But, unfortunately, we have sellers that, like Will said earlier, they can be rude sometimes, especially when they have another offer being offered to them, or they feel like it's their property is worth more than what you're paying them for or what they agreed to take. And so, that creates a problem sometimes. And so,
I think that and all that is true, and I totally agree that all that is true. But I also think that there's a heightened sense of I can't think of the word, but I just think there's a heightened sense of people not feeling, people being restless, and there being some unrest. People not quite having the best mindset, because of the year. I mean, you got to kind of chalk it up to that. People are nervous, they're scared, they're angry, they're afraid, they are distrustful, and all that combined with with what you would normally deal with sellers, on top of what you're talking about, feeling like their houses are worth more than what they're worth. I mean, I think there's a lot of it that's stacked onto there. So I think it's important, to like when you're dealing with with people like this, just have a lot of people kind of analyze, what's going on. I mean, I just think it's important, man, because some, that person could have a bad day. You know what I'm saying? They could be having a bad.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Well, when it comes down to a bad day, for instance,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna kind of piggyback on what Will was saying earlier about feeling somewhat disrespected when somebody want to overtalk you or tell you can't talk when they talking or stuff like that. And at the end of the day, we all are human, and yes, we're trying to get something that they have, and they're trying to get something that we have.
Right.
And that's the part that where I say we want to make it a win-win situation, not a win-lose situation. We both have to understand each other, and we both have to, kind of analyze how we are talking to the other person, and so, when it comes down to it, we try not to be too aggressive, but then, we want to get our point across, so, I'm always, I always tell my sellers, listen, I'm always ready, willing, and able to close. Okay.
Right.
And those three words together combined are somewhat of a legal term, especially when you're in a contractual binding agreement.
Right.
Let them know that you are ready, willing, and able to close. And if they have already contracted with you, then, now it's kind of like, listen, tell me what else are you trying to say? Like we had a seller today, and this guy, he basically wanted to stay in the property until he felt like leaving. We said, wait a minute.
OT, real quick. Can you hold that thought? Hold that thought real quick. Hey, guys, it's 9 o'clock, guys. So, I mean, we're going to keep on. We're going to talk for a little while because we're talking to psychology. It's turned into a psychology of selling type of deal. But guys.
I'm sorry, brother. I ain't mean to flip the button on, you know what I mean? The power button, just let me know. You know what I mean? Because, hey, if you roll that carpet out, I'm going to step on it and ride, baby.
Hold on. Hang on. I'm just letting people know what time it is. It's 9 o'clock. And this is normally, guys, when we end the show, it's at 9 o'clock. So if you want to stay on, feel free, stay on. You'll be able to ask some questions, etc. But if not, we just want you to know, have a Merry Christmas, guys. We are so thankful for you. Remember the reason for the season. And if you want to be a part of our program, our Dialing for Dollars program, or if you have a deal, email us, reiwholesalersus@gmail.com. That's reiwholesalersus@gmail.com. If you want to be a part of our Dialing for Dollars program, or you have a deal you want us to look at, email us at reiwholesalersus@gmail.com. Once again, guys, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. We are so grateful. We won't see you guys till after Christmas. And remember that the reason for the season is Jesus. Proceed, brother.
Well, amen to that, my brother. And I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time.
Yeah,
so,
of course, talk a little bit.
Huh?
Now, I'm just telling it, if people want to stay on, they can stay on because we're going to talk for a little bit because I think that you're giving some good stuff.
Okay, great. I mean, and if you want me to switch topics or something like that, just let me know. I was getting into the point of, giving the person what they want, right?
Okay.
And being in a position to whereby, when the seller starts to have communication problems with you, and you're wondering why. And oftentimes it's coming because they have had a change of heart when their green glands kick in. So to kind of summon that up, I was just saying that, I like to be within the law and things. The emotion side is one thing, and you try to, pamper and get everything, where people can have a smiling face at the closing table. However, there have been occasions whereby, hey, you have to force you get that check in your hand. You'll be okay. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. It's like really like when you encounter some kind of issue with a seller, then it's up to you to kind of discover what that issue is. If there's all of a sudden some kind of stop or some kind of closure or some kind of gap or anything in dealing with the seller, then it's really up to you, your team, et cetera, to find out what it is. It's called an objection, okay? And you've got to overcome that objection. So you've got to find ways to ask questions without asking questions. And really that's part of that's part of the that's part of having a team. With a team, where
and I like what you said earlier about that, Tim, because you know what? This deal still was able to successfully get to the table, however it didn't fund today. And it was no fault of mine. It was because they kept switching everything, the seller.
Right.
He switched up about 4 or 5 times before we got to the closing table from Friday, okay? To the point that he even just decided not to even, he decided not to even entertain me at all. And he wanted to talk with the guy who made the initial contact with him, which was, like you say, a partner. And so it was good that I had a partner, because had I not had a partner, I would have told him, to go where the sun don't shine. You know what I mean? But it was cool, you know what I mean? And having that partner is a good way to alleviate the pain that one person has to bear, and it kind of gives that other person that different perspective of, okay, I can talk with this person because of this or that or the other. Boy, that's the line we got to go to. Yeah, but I'm going to go a different way. Yeah, Tim.
That's good. Will, you got anything you want to add to that? Because I mean that was some good stuff right there.
No, I'm just listening in, man. I had got bumped off earlier, man, so I'm just taking everything all in, man. But man, that's some good stuff, man. Good conversation, OT, man. We definitely appreciate you jumping on, man, and sharing some of your wisdom and some of your experiences with us, man, because it's good talk, man, and people need to hear this stuff. Definitely, man. People definitely need to hear this stuff. So we appreciate you, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you, Big Will.
Yes, it's like a lot of times, like a lot of and I'm not just defending sellers, but just a lot of times sellers have just gone through a lot. Like another thing, a lot of sellers have gone. Sellers could have been dealing with somebody else before you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta also think about that. So when you're getting a seller on the phone, sometimes they've been through a bad agreement, a bad contract already. That's somebody didn't close, and you've got to kind of overcome that. So I think it's just kind of incumbent upon any one of us that are dialing for dollars, driving for dollars, whatever it is, to actually gain the trust of that seller from a relationship standpoint, build a relationship, and in doing that, then you can kind of overcome a lot of this stuff. Because listen, whenever you're doing deals or whenever you're doing business, there's obviously going to be some part of it where somebody doesn't understand what the other person is doing. So you got, I mean, it's just a part of it. You know what I'm saying? But you've got to come to a place of agreement, and the place of agreement is where both parties understand what's going on. So both parties are ready to move forward after both parties understand what's going on. So that's where I think teamwork comes in at. That's where I think sometimes expertise comes in at, is because, one person can be looking at it like, wow, this is an objection that can't be overcome. But, somebody with a little bit more experience, can be looking at it like, wow, okay, this is easy. Let's do it like this, or let's say it like that. They could have been through the situation before. Who knows? But I think that's where a community comes in at, and I think that's where you're gonna do more deals if you've got other people involved, that are going to help you, help you get to that place.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yeah, man. I know we talk every day. So you know what I'm saying. So we're just talking about how grateful we are, man. I can honestly say this. I can honestly say this. Like even when I was going through, like I was going through back in 2014, 13, 14, I was going through, through a tough time, personally. And both of you guys, both of you guys recognize who I was, and y'all really encouraged me, in that time. And it allowed for me to come back out, and I just go back and look at some of my pictures, back then, and I see, both of you guys, and let's say me and Will, we standing in front of a house, doing stuff, and what it did, it encouraged me. And then of course, just my conversations with you back at the barbershop, really, really encouraged me and brought me on. So I just want to say this, guys, like in 2021 is going to be very, very important to surround yourself with the right people in 2021, because this can be the difference between you, realizing your greatest success, or you not having success, or you not having the success that you want, because those people that are around you are going to be the ones that are going to encourage you or discourage you. I mean, it can go either way. So just, just understand this. Who you surround yourself with is very important.
That's what we found out. Yeah, Tim. Think you encouraged now. You've been really encouraged who's in that truck, in that tractor trailer. You've been encouraged to get up out of there.
Oh, gotcha. That's right, man. That's right. Ricardo said Ron is a legend, man. He watches videos and he's only 28 years old. So you're not talking, talking about Ron LeGrand. Ron LeGrand,
You're going on the, might have looked at this track. Because we're on the wrong side. Y'all supposed to be on the Delta side. Shucks. Yeah, Tim, I'm sorry, man. I'm with you, man. I'm sorry at the airport. Bunch of holiday traffic out here, boy.
Yeah, but Ron LeGrand is the man. But listen, guys, Newland says thank you guys for what you do. Great stuff. Thank you, Pastor Newland. We certainly appreciate it. God bless you during this time. Ricardo says big wins in 2021. Definitely big wins.
Nah.
Anissa says
it's longer than you think.
So good stuff, partner, man. It's been quite a show, man. Merry Christmas. Thank you for the gift of your friendship. I really appreciate you and OT, man. Appreciate D. Lachette. The Phillips. Law clerk on demand. Ricardo, Newland. Anissa. Greg, everybody, we certainly appreciate you guys. We wouldn't be here without you guys. We are so grateful that you guys, are on here. You're sticking with us. Thank you for, helping us create this community. This community would not be a community without you guys. And we're just super, 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 super grateful for it. You got anything you want to?
Yeah, I just want to say this. I just want to, piggyback on what you said, man. Thank you guys for just staying committed to being a part of this call in this community. Want you guys to stay safe and be careful this week. Have a Merry Christmas. Make this week be a week of giving, and and just making sure that you guys be careful out here. The pandemic is not over with. And, we definitely got to be mindful of our surroundings and, just making sure you have a Merry Christmas. And,
what was that? Your birthday's coming up in 2 days, partner.
Yeah, my birthday's Wednesday, so yeah.
Come on, everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to that, and yeah, just want to be safe out here, and that's it.
Are we doing anything this Christmas? I mean, on your birthday? I know this year is a little bit different, but I know you normally give to the homeless on your birthday, and you normally feed the homeless. Yeah. Highlight what may be going on this year.
Yeah, I mean, normally, it's been a tradition of mine. Just there's a homeless shelter that I normally feed every year on my birthday, and it's been a tradition I've done. I don't know, about 6-7 years straight that I've been doing it. So again, this year we're doing it a little bit differently. We normally go there. We normally purchase the food, prepare the food there, and then we serve the people at the shelter. But this year, we're just going to prepare the food and actually deliver it and drop it off to them. We're not going to actually be able to serve because we have to prepare food for 100 people. So we're not, going to serve 100 people, especially with what's going on. So we are going to prepare the food, and we're just going to deliver it and deliver like essentials and probably some clothes and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what we're going to have planned. Probably I'm going to do that earlier that day. And I think we got a closing scheduled on that day too. So hopefully, everything goes well with that. It's always great to close on your birthday. So nothing never wrong with that. Yeah. But, just want, I mean, my birthday and Christmas, I just want to be just healthy, sound mind, around family, being able to be in position to give. Again, that's something I enjoy doing. And
where can they donate? People want to know.
I mean, as far as donation, I mean, it's a shelter. So, I mean, I always just say you got clothes, food, or anything essential. Of course, the name of the shelter that I'm going to is Seven Bridges to Recovery out there in Smyrna. That's where I normally go to. I'll probably be dropping the stuff off somewhere probably around 11:30, somewhere in that range. So if you guys have something or interested in coming out there and dropping some stuff off, you can shoot me a message, and I can give you an exact time that I'll be there. But we're normally serve, but we're not going to serve this year. We're just going to drop off the stuff to them, and then go on the rest of my day. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for being on this call again and being a part of this call. And again, Merry Christmas to everybody. We're going to be on this call again next Monday. I think that'll be the last probably Monday call of the year. And we're going to have a game plan on how we need to finish strong and go into 2021 and start off on a positive note. So that's it, guys. We don't want to keep you no longer. Thank you guys again. We appreciate everything you guys do. And we'll see you guys next Monday, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you all. Please check us out on our YouTube page, Wholesalers R Us, guys. Just check us out. Give us a like, all that kind of stuff that you do on YouTube. Certainly appreciate it. Merry Christmas. Love you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it. See y'all next Monday.
Thanks, OT.
Appreciate it, OT. Appreciate Delano.